Hello, my name is Chloe, welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you the DNF tag. So I was tagged in this by Emily over at Novel Novels, so thank you very much Emily for tagging me. These were pretty quick and easy questions for me to answer, so I'm going to enjoy filming this. I have made some notes and I have got the questions written down, so if I'm looking down here, that's what that is. So the first question is very simple. Do you DNF? I do, but very, very rarely. It definitely depends on how far through the book I am. So it asks for examples later on, so I'm not going to use those now. But if I pick up a book and within the first 50 pages, it's just not for me, then it can go. I'm not bothered about DNFing that. But let's say recently I read The Price Guide to the Occult by Leslie Walton, which I wasn't enjoying, and I definitely wasn't enjoying 100 pages in, but it was only like a 250 page book. So I just persevered to see if it would get any better, and that's just because it's a shorter book. But if I pick up a 600 page book that I don't like within 100 pages, it can, off we go. The next question is, if you DNF a book, does it count towards the books read that month? No, for me, definitely not. I quite like having the actual count is the actual number of books I have started and finished. In my opinion, DNFing a book does not count as reading a book because you didn't finish it. But I guess everyone has their own opinion on that, and I'm not going to judge people for what they do, but I would not class a book as read if I didn't finish it. I think I would start to debate that if I got 500 pages into a 600 page book. But as I just said, like it depends on where I am in a book to whether I DNF it. So I'm not going to DNF a book in that situation. I would just read the next 100 pages. But if I'm 100 pages into a 600 page book and I don't like it, then I didn't read that book. The next question is there a difference between a DNF and just putting it down for a bit? For me, no. I don't put books down for a bit and then reach back to them. I'm quite easy at what I read each month, so I'm not like a thriller I probably do read more thrillers in the autumn, but I wouldn't leave them for the autumn. I wouldn't leave beachy contemporaries for the summer. So for me, there's no particular reason to put down a book apart from the fact that I don't like it. And in that situation, it's got to be DNF'd because I don't have much space. If you are not a major follower of my videos, I had my own 2-bedroom house with a dedicated room for books, and I am now back living with my parents. So this is pretty much your lot. I've just realised that's been turned around. Let's ignore that. So I have to be really, really, really strict on what books I'm keeping. So if I pick up a book and I don't like it, and I'm not going to put it down in the hope that I like it again, I just have to get rid. So the next question is, what popular book did you DNF? I DNF'd Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I was about 3 chapters in, if that, and I just really, really didn't like it. So I think I've got like more of a self-justified reason for stopping reading. I didn't really want to read this book. I bought it because of the hype. I then put it in a video of 20 books I wanted to read in 2020 and didn't want to read it. Then I tried to schedule one buddy read for it, that fell through. The next buddy read fell through. I don't miss it. I just thought I really tried and I just wasn't in the mood for it. Couldn't see myself ever being in the mood for it, and I decided to get rid. And one day, if I want to read it, I'm sure the library will have it. I'm sure I can find it again, but I didn't need to hold on to it. The next question is, what popular book do you wish you'd DNF'd? For that, I'm going to go for The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. I read this for a book club, so I felt like I had to read it. I believe it's over 500 pages long. It's a bit of a chunker. And I didn't enjoy it, so I probably knew I wasn't enjoying it within the first 200 pages maybe. It just really wasn't my cup of tea. It is a thriller, it's a mystery thriller about a person who is in a new person's body every day and trying to solve this. It's like a Groundhog Day thing where the day starts over again and they switch personalities. It was interesting, but it wasn't really my thing, and I probably I would have stopped reading if I was reading it myself, and I decided to carry on and I really didn't enjoy it. I think I gave it 2 stars in the end because there was a certain bit I liked, but it's bit of a waste of my time. The next question, do you attempt to reread a DNF and has it been successful for you? Well, typically no, because for me a DNF is the same as an unhaul. Like a DNF becomes an instant unhauled book. But one time it did happen, but it didn't work, was The Wayward Girls by Amanda Mason. So I had this as an e-arc on NetGalley and I hated it. I probably read nearly 50% and really, really hated it. I was like, no, I'm never ever gonna read that, don't like it. Then the library app had the audiobook. So I thought, maybe it was something about reading it with my Kindle that I didn't like. I started to give it the benefit of the doubt, so I listened to the audiobook. And then I gave that book 1 or 2 stars. I did not enjoy it. So for me, I must be quite a good judge of my own tastes. If I DNF it, I'm not gonna like it, so don't try again. In that case, I hadn't paid for either copy of the book, so I didn't lose out financially, so I wasn't mad about it, but maybe I need to be a little bit stricter. I guess a different format, it sort of counts as trying something a bit new to get through it, but didn't work. Oh, and the next question I've already answered. What do you do with the books you unhaul? I DNF them. As I said, not got a lot of space. So if I pick up a book and I'm not loving it, it needs to get out of my life. What I do is I will, if I have a friend like in the community that I know will want to read that book, I offer it to them first. Then I pretty much list all of my books on Depop and eBay and a book swapping website and just try and like get them out because, you know, I could be a nice person. The charity shops have been shut through lockdown, so that has, you know, I've got slight justification for that, for not taking them straight there. But yeah, it's quite nice to be able to get a little bit of money for a book just to help me with my own collection of books. It's quite nice to be able to trade them around. And then if they don't sell and I hold on to them for far too long, then they do go to the charity shop and I will take them in bulk when I've had some for a pretty long time. So the last question is, do you choose more or less risky books because of your stance on DNFing? This question I don't really understand because I'm not going to read a book that I feel is risky because I want to read a book because I want to read it. I don't know if that makes sense to people. I think really there are a couple books I have which I've acquired not through me buying them, so book boxes, well mainly just mystery book boxes. So I have a couple of books that I know aren't 100% my cup of tea and I'm going to try them and I will potentially DNF them. I'll probably unhaul them anyway, but I'll potentially DNF them. That doesn't mean I'm not going to read them. I own it, so I'm going to try. If I DNF it, it's not a big deal. But I definitely wouldn't not read a book because in my head I could not finish it. Does that make sense? So those questions I've got through really, really quick, which is good for me because I'm hungry and it's my lunch break right now. So I'm fine with that. I'm tagging 5 people. All of these people said they wanted to be tagged. So enjoy this. I think I asked you about a month ago though, so you probably don't want to be tagged anymore. No rush to do this. So we've got Floor at Crazy Book Lady, Victoria from What Victoria Read, Hannah from Ladder M, Kat from KD Reads Books, and Mal from a book fiend named Mal. So all of you will be linked down in the description, and Emily will be linked there as well, who tagged me in this video. And that is pretty much all I have to say. So drop me your opinions on any of these in the comments if you'd like to. If you do this tag and I haven't tagged you, then please let me know. I'd love to watch it. But on that note, that's all for me today. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one.